Now we'll discuss the problems related to the straight lines. So being as per the university guidelines or our Indian national practice, the drawing convenience we are using by the first angle projection. First angle projection means every time objects are assumed to be placed above the horizontal plane in front of the vertical plane. That you have to keep in mind. So let me consider the problem as the first case. So just now we are listed, even the first angle projection we are following depends on the orientation, the result of projections will be changed. So let me check all the 6 possibilities by taking the same length of the line. So let's examine our first problem. We are considering a line parallel to the vertical plane. That is the first case of the problem. So now I can just read the problem and try to understand what has been there asking. Draw the projections of a straight line AB of length 60 mm when it is parallel to VP perpendicular to the HP. Its end point A is 20 mm above HP and 15 mm in front of the VP. So clearly they mention the condition. What the condition? It is parallel to VP and perpendicular to HP. Whenever the projections mean, you need not to be represented, ask you to draw a front view and top view. Projections mean is nothing but projection on VP, projection on HP. So indirectly they are asking front view and top view only. So that thing you have to keep in mind. So already we reminded, whenever any problem while reading itself, is there any parallel condition, the first thing you have to observe. So why? Because here was do the problem directly by applying the fundamental rules. Instead of we are just imagine by drawing the first quadrant and just position, after the projecting, then you have to convert them into the solution. It takes a lot of the time. So that's why we have started initially from the points mean. At the points itself, fundamental rules, whatever the thing, you have to grasp. The simply what you learn by the concept, try to apply to get the solution. So that is the quicker and faster you are able to finish. So for that one, you have to think while reading itself, observe the parallel condition. Is there any parallel condition is there? They clearly mention it is a parallel to VP. So whenever you observe parallel to VP, respective projection is the true length. So before that one, from here onwards, every time we will get the same projection. So draw the XY line. So XY line to be drawn being the standard line, you have to draw by using HB pencil. So once you are representing our reference line, just generally it is named as a XY line. Just identify which is the above plane and which is the below plane. We are aware that above is the vertical plane and below is the horizontal plane. Please don't confuse. You have to identify the planes perfectly. So why you are getting? So once a simple step as being the first problem I am explaining, but here onwards you have to keep in mind how to planes of positions. So this is the XY reference line. This is the vertical plane. This is the horizontal plane. Every time we are rotating 90 degrees in clockwise direction HP. So once you are rotating, so what happens? The entire plane will be comes exactly below. So this is the horizontal plane. So being a viewing from here, from the above is the vertical plane, below you are getting in the horizontal plane. You have to just make this as a standard. Whenever the first quadrant, above is the vertical plane, below is the horizontal plane. So then you have to which projection to be initiated. So for that one you have to rely on the parallel condition. Parallel to VP mean VP projection I have to draw first. You have to initiate it to front view. While you are drawing the front view, you have to keep in mind, you have to take the details of the horizontal plane. What are the details of the horizontal plane? Perpendicular to the horizontal plane. At the same time, its end point A is 20 mm above the horizontal plane. The same details you have to maintain. So take the mini drafter, because you have to draw the absolutely perpendicular lines and parallel lines. Please use mini drafter for the faster work. Just align with XY. So what the distance has been given? They mentioned that it is 20 mm above the horizontal plane. So measure 20 mm and from that point, so what the length has been given? 60 mm. So measure the 60 mm and I have to draw the 60 mm of the length. So why you have to draw the perpendicular mean? We have to front view is nothing but details of HP. What are the details of the HP? One is the end point is 20 mm above. After that it is a perpendicular to HP. So whenever perpendicular, simply you have to draw the perpendicular only. So now the end point. So let assume this is the A dash and this is the P dash. Completed. We know that front view, top view always in a same line. So based on condition, so our top view must be on this line only. A dash mean corresponding top view A should be on this line. B dash mean corresponding B point also should be in the same line. So whenever view in this direction, for simple to understand, sometimes understand the logic, take your pen or pencil and just place the position. It is perpendicular to the HP mean like this, perpendicular to HP. So whenever perpendicular to HP, if you are viewing this one, so what happens? Only the single point appears. The same thing in the top you are getting as the single point. But once you are drawing the HP projection, you have to initiate a top view. Top view is the details of VP. So what the VP details we are having? 15 mm in front. So measure 15 mm and just mark that point of the top. Measure 15 mm and you are able to get top. Once you are getting this is the top here the point, being it is a point appearance, but it is representing the two endpoints A as well as B. So among which one is the visible, other is invisible. How to identify the visible, invisible mean? Being the top view, you have to view in this direction. When you are viewing in this direction, A is near to you, so A is the visible point. B is exactly behind, being it is not visible, it has to be mentioned in the bracket. So after that, show the dimensions clearly. Once you are showing the dimension, our part of solutions will be completed. Being it is given 15 mm, it is of 20 mm and it is of 60 mm. So now you are able to represent the solution front view as well as the top view. So like that, once you are staying in the fundamental concept without any imagination, you are placing the line to meet the condition, we are projecting, and once you are projecting the top view, so then we are taking, it takes a lot of the time. So in the initial itself, you have to concentrate to understand the concept. Once you understand the concept, just by applying the rules, you are able to get the solution very quicker rate. So this is the problem related with the first condition parallel to the VP. So just take the second problem in the same condition. I am taking for the clarity, all the difference you are getting that for all the conditions I am taking the same line length of 60 mm. So just I will read out the problem, try to understand what has been given here. So now the condition of the line is parallel to the horizontal plane. Before one is vertical plane. Now I am reading the problem. Draw the projections of a straight line AB of length 60 mm when it is parallel to HP and perpendicular to VP. Its end point A is 20 mm above HP and 15 mm in front of VP. So what I just suggested, by the reading itself, we have to catch the any parallel condition is there. So why I have to catch mean? I can initiate that view first, then I have to move to the other view. Why? Because already initial we have discussed, whenever parallel, then only the lens are protected. The other cases, whenever there is inclination, the lens are foreshortened. So that's why I am cautioning, you have to catch the point, is there any parallel condition. Since it is parallel to HP, so which view have to initiate it? So before that one, first draw the XY line, so then identify the plane areas so that I can readily draw the solutions. XY reference line, being again it is a above HP in front of VP in first quadrant. Whenever you are moving the first quadrant, above area is vertical plane, below area is a horizontal plane. So now by the parallel condition, it is parallel to the HP. That means you have to initiate to draw the HP projection. What the HP projection? Top view is the HP projection. So once you are identifying the top view, you have to draw the top view first. Top view is the details of vertical plane. So what the vertical plane details we are having? It is 15 mm in front of VP and perpendicular to VP. The 2 points you have to satisfy now here. 15 mm in front mean I can measure 15 mm in front. So from thereafter, being the parallel, the total length which you have to draw, it is perpendicular. So I am drawing perpendicularly. So the line length of how much? 60 mm. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is the front view. So front view to be drawn. Why? Because once you are getting the top view, we know the fundamental concept, front view, top view always in the same. The same at 16, by taking the 2H pencil, draw a light line so that you can align along that one. We know the other fundamental, front view, top view in the same line. So once you are reading it right, drawing itself, we know that other view must be aligned. So extend, but pencil to be used indifferently. The solution to be drawn with HB, I am just making for the alignment reference, the reference line to be drawn very light only for sake of adjustment. So now just take here, so let I am this in the A and this is the B. Top view is completed. Once the top view completed, you have to move to the other view. So what is the other view? Front view. Front view is nothing but VP projection. So once you decide the front view is the details of horizontal plane. So what the horizontal plane details we are having? It is 20 mm above. Being it is a perpendicular, A and B will be appears as a point, so one behind the other one. So now just check for that one. I am measuring the details of HP. Since details of HP is 20 mm, I am measuring 20 mm and mark the point here. This is the top view. For identifying the details, I have to view in this direction. When I am viewing in this direction, A is visible, B is behind of it. A dash is a visible point, B dash is the invisible point. So once you are completed, it has to be identify the dimension line. So dimension line to be drawn. Place dimension lines to be drawn. All the extension line must be drawn for the same length. So by leaving a minimum margin so that you can differentiate. So which is the dimension line and which is the object line. So for that it is must you have to proceed like that. So once arrowheads to be drawn very systematically with more length to be arrowhead, then write the dimension. What the dimension in here? The length of the line is 60 mm. So next here is how much in front? It is now 15 mm. How much above? HP details and VP details. It should be taken from the problem given, and then you have to with the dimension are able to complete. I am just skipping all this part so that you can save the time once you are strong in fundamentals. So let me check other condition problems. So let me discuss the line problem in the other condition. So previously we discussed the line parallel to VP, then we discussed parallel to HP. In both the cases it is perpendicular to any other planes. So now let me discuss the third condition. So that is the line parallel to both vertical plane as well as the horizontal plane. So for that one, in the concern, let me discuss a problem. Draw the projections of a straight line AB of length 60 mm when it is parallel to both horizontal plane and vertical plane, and it is 20 mm above horizontal plane and 15 mm in front of the vertical plane. So condition, any problem while reading, just I suggested to catch the point, the parallel condition. So being the parallel condition, based only we have to draw the respective projection. So in this case, parallel to both the planes, that means I can either condition consider with respect to vertical plane as with respect to horizontal plane at the first. So that is the advantage we are having. Either of the view we can start instant. So as usual, draw the XY reference line. Being we are drawing all the problems with respect to first quadrant, so draw the XY reference line. After that, identify the plane of the areas. So being it is the represented as the XYY, it is since first angle projection, above is the vertical plane area, below is the horizontal plane area. Being it is parallel to both the planes, I can choose any one of them. So let I choose the vertical plane projection. Vertical plane projection is front view. Front view is the details of horizontal plane. So what the details of the horizontal plane, let I can go through. So now line length given, it is a 60 mm. When it is parallel, the as usual 60 mm line length will be there. So it is parallel to HP and VP. Now since vertical plane, I have to need the details of horizontal plane. What the horizontal plane details having 20 mm above the horizontal plane and parallel to the horizontal plane. So to satisfy that one, so let I am taking the line above distance being the 20 mm given, I am taking 20 mm. Since it is parallel to HP, I am drawing the parallel. The line length has been given 6. The same 6 mm line I have to draw. HP, above HP means 20 mm. Being it is parallel, I drawn parallel. So let identify this as a A dash and it is a B dash. So once you identify the points, we have to remember other points. So how the other points? Front view, top view, always in the same line. So based on that condition, A must be on this line to be aligned. B must be on the point of B dash line in this line. A must be projected. So being other is the top view. Top view is the details of the vertical plane. Since the vertical plane details is 15 mm in front, so measure 15 mm in this area. So A dash and A must be in the same line. So in the same line, I have to just identify the point at a distance of 15. Since it is parallel, I can draw parallel because it is also parallel to VP. The top is nothing but details of the VP. The since is parallel, I am drawing the parallel line. So now the A dash mean the respective point top view, B dash mean the respective top view point. After that, show the dimensions. So while showing the dimension, please draw the extension line in either side with the same extension line. So for representation neatly. So let I am taking here and just taking. Now draw the dimension line. Draw the arrowhead systematically. So now here 20 mm above, 15 mm in front. So that line you are not shown the dimension of the length. So we have to show the dimension of the length also. How much the dimension of the length given? It is 60 mm. So draw that one as an extension line here. Draw the extension line, and just from the outrage, just show a dimension line by leaving approximately center gap. Systematically arrow has to be drawn. Since it is 60 mm, so front view and top view drawn. Please use the pencils carefully. Being the sketches visible, we are drawing the sketches, but on your drawing you have to use what has been given on standards and solution. These should be drawn with HB. Remaining every line should be drawn very light. So these are known as the projector lines. These should be drawn always very light with 2H pencil. Being the other requirements are the compulsory requirement as a part of the solution, you have to use the HP. So like that, when any problem you can observe. So we are observing the first parallel condition, then only we are considering the respective.